Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about this news that came out last week about the Edge versus the Demon King Finn Balor Hell in a Cell match. So, for anybody who doesn't know, there was an article that had been reported about a week ago now, and I've been wanting to get to this. There's been other stuff I had to take care of, so I didn't really get to talk about and give my thoughts on this. But, so, the report was basically, I'm going to read the report here. And quote, at WrestleMania 39, Edge, now known as Cope in AEW, wrestled his final match at the grandest stage of them all, taking on the Demon, which it's the Demon King, by the way, Finn Balor, inside Hell in a Cell. Edge defeated Balor in the match, ending their month-long feud. In the aftermath, Balor went on to compete in the World Heavyweight Championship picture, where Edge ended up parting ways with WWE and signing with AEW that year. And again, that's how they end the first paragraph, which that is a very, very misleading paragraph, and I'll get to that in a second, because I really don't like when people mislead people with the paragraphs like that. However, then it goes on to say, however, it has been reported by Fightful Select that the original plan for the match were very different. It is noted that Finn Balor was originally planned to emerge victorious in this match, with Edge being very much on the side of this happening, also with him wanting to put Balor over. However, the re-emerging presence of Vince McMahon around WWE Creative at the time led to him having an influence in changing the match result, as he selected Edge to win instead. It isn't known whether Edge and Balor were aware of this changed plan or if they simply found out the results on the night, on that day. McMahon's habits of changing plans at the last minute was felt the following night on Monday Night Raw, with it being well known of him changing the entire plans for the show before leaving. Don't expect to see McMahon booking wrestling again anytime soon, as recent rumors were shut down of him starting a new promotion. Now, that the last part doesn't really matter at this point. And then, quote. So I want to talk about, first I want to talk about this article, the first paragraph here that was read. This is very misleading, because they talk about how Edge parted ways with WWE and signed with AEW later that year. But WWE didn't know that he was going to AEW that year. As a matter of fact, they didn't even really know he was signing with AEW until after his wrestling parts of his contract expired. They gave him a good farewell match with Sheamus. I believe at the end of the summer, they gave him a good farewell match with Sheamus, a person he requested to wrestle, because I don't think he ever wrestled him one-on-one at that point, so he wanted to wrestle Sheamus. So he got that, and he even won, despite, not losing, on the way out. But again, supposedly, and I remember reading at the time that they did not know that he was actually going to AEW or not. So that's what I heard at that time. So again, that was a very misleading argument. Balor went on to compete in the World Heavyweight title picture. Yeah, but that's not really a fair assessment because upper mid-carders and main eventers have always, gone up for the title. I mean, Edge had when Roman first came back. So I don't really get why this matters per se. But anyways, so getting to this whole report from Fightful. Edge winning this match really, because I think a lot of people think that this hurt Finn Balor. I think that was, and a lot of people had baggage remorse about it after the match had happened. I heard people, I think a couple weeks after the match had happened, that people were mad that Finn Balor lost the match to Edge. And we're talking about even before this came out. And I never really understood it at the time and still don't really understand it, because Edge winning to me, in terms of the storyline, made sense. Yes, hindsight being 2020, if I known Edge wanted to jump to AEW ahead of time, then yes, I probably would have put Finn Balor over. I would have put the Demon over. But we didn't know that at the time. So Edge winning made sense. Now, it's not like Finn Balor didn't get a win in this feud. He had beaten Edge in an I Quit match at Extreme Rules. Okay? Obviously, he, convinced Dominic Mysterio to join forces with the Judgment Day. So it's not like the Judgment Day hadn't really gotten one up on or the Judgment Day hadn't gotten one up on Edge, and of course, as we all know, this whole storyline of Edge versus the Judgment Day started when the Judgment Day turned on Edge. The Judgment Day was created by Edge. I think a lot of people forget about this, but it was started because of Edge. They betrayed Edge 2 months later, and that was a Vince McMahon decision, by the way. Vince McMahon made that decision. I think that was about, a month or two before he, quote-unquote, retired, from creative. But that was and Edge, he even talked about it at the time, is that was something I was highly against. He was highly against him being leaving the Judgment Day group. He wanted to stay in that group much longer. But Vince made that decision, so they couldn't go back on it. So they turned it into a really good feud. Finn Balor ended up joining the Judgment Day, and they had a long feud that led to the WrestleMania Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 39. To me, Edge winning that made sense. And I know that might not be what the majority of people want to hear, but I think Edge winning it made sense because Balor did win in the only time that Edge and Balor wrestled prior to that one-on-one was the match between him and Edge, where Finn Balor won an I Quit match. Again, he won an I Quit match at Extreme Rules. Go look it up. If you don't want to see it, that's just facts, man. Yes, Extreme Rules 2022 I Quit match. Finn Balor won that match. So Balor did get a win on Edge. Okay? So Edge winning at WrestleMania in their second one-on-one match on pay-per-view made sense. This absolutely made sense for Edge to win here. And again, if I had known the AEW element was going to happen, then yes, we would have gone with Finn Balor here. But at the time, we didn't know if we didn't know Edge was going to AEW at that point. Okay? So it made sense. Now to go on this whole, did Vince McMahon make the decision? Okay. I'm still skeptical on this. I'm still skeptical on this whole, Vince McMahon overruled Triple H for this match for Edge to go over on Finn Balor. I kind of am like, because like I said earlier in this, in the whole, in this video, Finn Balor, losing this match was something of a conversation following the WrestleMania itself, that people were upset that Finn Balor didn't get it done. So I feel like this is more of something that is being reported that is more of, oh, we're still upset about this, so we're going to report something where we hear something that Vince McMahon made this decision. Man, I just don't know, man. I just think that it just sounds once again of this whole we're sore losers because Finn Balor didn't win. Which again, Finn Balor, I don't think that hurt Finn Balor. I don't think Finn Balor losing to Edge hurts Finn Balor, especially since he had already beaten him. Okay. I don't think it hurt him. The thing that's really hurt Finn Balor has been the booking. Okay. It really has. Like, if we're talking about the booking of Finn Balor, okay, like, what major feuds has Finn Balor been in? Okay, like, I mean, he's doing this Judgment Day thing. Like, let's even talk about right now. I mean, like, what's his WrestleMania match right now? What's his marquee WrestleMania match right now? Nothing. All right, as of right now, as of today of making this video, he is still not in a match. Okay, he's probably going to be in a match involving Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title, probably a multi-ladder match or something. But as of right now, still nothing. Okay, still nothing. Okay, for Finn Balor. Okay, we see Finn Balor. Here's another example. We see Finn Balor turn on Damian Priest, right? What happened? He lost that feud. All right, Damian Priest beat him like almost every time. I don't think Finn Balor even got a win. Like, they made Damian look really strong in his feud with Finn Balor. And that pissed me off more than him losing to Edge. Because I'm like, Damian Priest is still not really established. Like, the crowd is just not into him that well. Like, his world title reign, nobody cared about his world title reign. Okay. He's in this feud with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is like keeping this alive. Because, in the whole Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest feud makes sense because he did cash in on Drew McIntyre the year before at WrestleMania. But, like, nobody's interested in it. Like, Drew McIntyre is trying to keep it relevant with the stuff that he's doing as a heel, but nobody's interested in it because, like, the whole thing with Damian is just not there. Also, the thing with Seth Rollins is also going to live in people's minds for a long time, that he didn't kick out. And the referee pretended it wasn't a 3 count. Somehow. So that's going to be something that's going to be talked about. And that's where people just are not taking Damian Priest seriously. And yet Finn Balor lost to him. So is it really Edge? Is it really Edge beating Finn Balor that really hurt Finn Balor? Or is it really the booking that's happening right now for him that's hurting him? Because, like, come on. Like, what has Finn Balor done besides just be a Judgment Day guy? Like, for the past couple of years, that's all he's been. Betray Damian Priest, betray this, betray that. Have a couple of shots for the world title, but didn't go anywhere. Like, that is what Finn has done. So him losing to Edge, I don't think hurt Finn. Because you can still lose to a top tier star and recover from it as long as you have good booking. But obviously, WWE has not really done that, and they haven't really done it for WrestleMania. And again, we talk about Triple H and the good things he's done since taking over Vince McMahon. We need to start talking about the bad things that Triple H has done since taking over for Vince McMahon. Because he can have good things and still not do that good in certain things. And this year's WrestleMania, as I've said already, like when I made that, WrestleMania 41 card sucks 2 weeks ago, it's still relevant today because the full card is still not out. We still haven't decided who LA Knight, is defending the Intercontinental Champion against. We still don't know who Braun Breaker is defending the Intercontinental Championship against. And this is the thing that's going on right now. This is what's going on with Finn. Now we're also in the possibility that Finn Balor, there's the tease that Finn Balor might leave the group now. But, I mean, does that really accomplish anything at this point? I mean, the Judgment Day has just been like, oh yeah, we're going to go from this to that and that. They already got rid of the music that people liked for the Judgment Day. And now it's just like, well, what is the Judgment Day at this point? They just want to add new members. Carlito isn't really doing anything. Carlito is just like a back, it's just an extra essentially in the Judgment Day. Like that's another thing. Carlito hasn't really done anything. Like he was a babyface for a while. He was an extra essentially with, the LWO. And then now he is an extra essentially for the Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? That's what Carlito has basically done. Like they're not doing anything for Carlito. Okay. And Finn Balor is like, we don't know what we want to do with Finn Balor, but we want to do something with him. But we just don't know what we want to do. This is more of the problem with Finn Balor than it is about him losing a match to Edge. Okay? The problem with Finn Balor is they don't know what to do with him. That's the problem. Finn Balor is someone that Triple H really liked when he was booking NXT years ago. For anybody who doesn't remember, the old NXT when Triple H was booking it, all right? He liked Finn Balor. And then, of course, Triple H pushed for him to go on the main roster and possibly do something there. Of course, for anybody who doesn't remember, Finn Balor beat Roman Reigns on Raw on live TV and qualified to face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. Okay? Finn Balor did that. All right? He won the Universal Championship from the first Universal Championship from Seth Rollins. But unfortunately, he got injured during the match and was forced to relinquish it, and he never got it back. He never got it back because Vince McMahon was fickled, and Vince McMahon moved on to someone else. And Finn never got that opportunity again. And now we're in the point where Triple H is now fully in control of creative, but yet Triple H is at the point where Finn Balor is not at the same stock he was at back when he gave him that huge push in NXT and put him onto the main roster and, getting that Universal Championship before relinquishing it due to an injury. It's just not there anymore, and Triple H just doesn't know how to bring him back up. And that to me is more of the problem with Finn Balor, is that Triple H doesn't know how to bring him back up. And that's what he's scrambling around to do. But again, right now, what I'm seeing right now from Finn Balor is, again, nowhere do I think Finn Balor is at the point where he could credibly be a world champion at this point, because Triple H doesn't know what to do right now with him. Okay? He doesn't. And that's not a Vince McMahon problem. Him, again, Edge winning is not the reason that that's happening. All right? That's not the reason why it's happening. That was 3 years ago now. Okay? There's no excuse for that. If Triple H really wants to push Finn Balor, then he shouldn't be doing all this dumb shit that Finn Balor has gone through the past several months. The Damian Priest feud, okay? All these other feuds that he has had where he has not come out on top and he has not been booked properly. That is the problem with Finn Balor, okay? And that's all Triple H. You can't blame that on Vince. Vince isn't here anymore. Vince isn't booking anymore, okay? So you can't blame a singular match on these issues because what we've seen from the current product of Finn Balor today has not changed anything, okay? It's not changed anything. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Finn Balor and Edge thing. Like I said, personally, at the time when Edge won, I had no issues with it. Whether Vince booked it or Triple H booked it, it does not matter to me because I think Edge winning and ending the storyline that way was the right call. Again, if you want to bring up the AEW thing, that's hindsight. That's hindsight. You can't use hindsight in this argument because at the time when the match was decided in terms of who was going to win and who was going to lose, nobody knew Edge was jumping to AEW at the time. So it's not a fair assessment to say that, we definitely should have had Edge win here. Or we definitely should have had Finn Balor win here because Edge left for AEW. It's like, no, you can't think that way. You cannot think that way because you did not know he was leaving at the time. So that's not fair to put that on anybody. Okay? If Finn Balor had won, would it have changed anything? Honestly, I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have because did he win the world title? Did Finn Balor win the world title that year? Would he have won a world title if Edge lost to him? I don't think so. I don't think they had plans for him to be the first world champion. Obviously, the plan was Seth Rollins. Okay? Seth Rollins was the plan to be the first new world heavyweight champion, right? So I don't think it would have changed anything. I don't think him winning this match would have changed the foreseeable future of what happened afterwards. Seth Rollins was still going to win that world heavyweight championship. The new world heavyweight championship that they created that year. Like, that was still going to go to Seth. So, exactly where would this have fit in for Finn Balor? Obviously, Roman Reigns wasn't losing the title. He was keeping it until WrestleMania 40, which ended up happening. He dropped it to Cody at 40. But, so I'm not exactly sure where the immediate plans for Finn Balor were going to be because obviously the window wasn't there. The window was never there for Finn Balor to have won the title that year or the next year. Okay? So that's my thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate, if you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Hit the for all the latest notifications. Just hit that bell or hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, all that stuff. And that's it. I am the S Ultimate Goku Moderator. Peace.